Hi everyone, this is Jennifer from simplescrapper.com, and in this video tutorial I want to talk to you a little bit about printing Instagram photos. I had shared this photo on Instagram recently of a bunch of Instagram photos that I had printed at home, and I got a lot of questions about how I did that and what do I use. And so this video I will show you a method that I use to print many Instagram photos in batches at home, to print Instagram photos with a commercial photo printer to send them out by mail order, or even to your local printer, or a method that I use to print non-square, non-Instagram photos in that cute little size. And the size I'm going to be showing you today is just about 2 by 2, which I find works really well for putting on Project Life pages and 3 by 4 cards, or even the 4 by 6 cards. Okay, so let's get started. So the secret that I'd like to share with you today is about using Lightroom print templates to allow yourself to simply click on the photos that you want to print and have them be all ready to go. And it's a lot easier than you think. If you've never clicked over to the print area of Lightroom, then you're really missing out, because this is one of my favorite features and one that I'm using all the time these days. So the print area allows you to set up templates or use Lightroom's defaults. This is one of the defaults here, to print multiple photos on a page and print them exactly how you want them to display. And so this can be really handy, especially when we're printing smaller photos and multiples of them on a page. And so this is a 4 by 5 contact sheet. This is one of their standard templates. You can see there's several different types of templates. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom user template. And you can see here I already have this 2 up, 2 by 2 on a 4 by 6. And so I'm going to show you exactly how I create this. Okay, so we're just going to click back here to the 4 by 5 contact sheet. So we're kind of starting with what you'd be starting with just the Lightroom pre-populated templates. And what we're going to do is we're going to create a custom user template. The first step is to click on Page Setup. And what we want to do is select a 4 by 6 paper size. Now I have several custom paper sizes here for my Lightroom templates. And what you can do if you don't have your own custom size yet is create one. And you can see what I did is I clicked the plus sign here to create a new custom paper size, and it's 6 inches wide by 4 inches high. I select a user-defined non-printable area, and I selected all the margins to be 0. And the reason I do this is so that when we're arranging the photos on the page, we can have ultimate control over where they are. Okay, so I'm going to select the 4 by 6 paper size and select OK. And you can see it changed the orientation of my paper here because I'm now working on a 4 by 6. The next thing we want to do is look over here on the right at all this menu of options. What I always start with is the page grid. And this is going to tell you how many photos are going to fit on the page. So I'm going to have 1 row and 2 columns, and that's for 2 photos. But you can see here it's a little wonky, they're a little bit to the left. And what I want to do is I want to have them centered and with a white border so that I can print these and easily crop off the edges and make them just nice little 2 by 2s. So after I do that page grid, I start at the top and start changing my settings. I do want this to zoom to fill and rotate to fit. And those tell you how the program is treating your images. I don't want to repeat the photos because that would allow me to print multiples, unless of course that's your objective. And I do want to have a stroke border. This does a nice border, and right now the default is white and 6.9 point, and I find that works really well. It's about a 1/4 inch border. In order to see that border, I'm going to scroll down here real quick and show you the crop marks. So you can see that it created a border around the photo. I'll click off it again and you can see that the difference between the border and without the border. Okay, so the next thing we want to do is adjust our margins. I want to have And I'll just do this by hand here. I'll do a 0.5 inch left margin, a 0.5 inch right margin, a 0 top, and a 0 bottom. The next thing I want to do is I want to set a 0.5 inch cell spacing, and I'll just do this by hand. I find it a lot easier to type in the numbers than to use the slider. Though the slider is very handy when you're trying to play with things to figure out what are the right dimensions here. And this leaves us with a cell size of about 2.25 inches by 2.25 inches. And so there's two reasons I do this. One is so that when I crop off, I have a little bit of extra slack, if you will, to make sure that my photos are about 2 by 2. And then also, when I print these on, especially my Canon selfie at home, or even when I send them out, sometimes the images end up a little bit smaller. And so if I print this at 2.25 by 2.25, they'll end up at exactly 2 by 2. And so I really like that. So what we've done is set up this template for our one-time use. The next step is to select the print job options. And basically think of this as either print or export. You can either have it print to the printer or print to a file, and that's the export. And I like to do that because I will often do this in large batches. Let's say here, I not only want to select these two images, but I want to select these two as well. So you can see I went from 1 page to 2, and now I have 2 pages of photos to print. Okay, so as I said, you've created a one-time use template here unless you take this final step. And so what we're going to do is go over to the template browser on the left and click the plus sign. This allows you to name your new template, new custom template, and use it again and again. So let's say you go back to your library, you select some new photos, and then you want to select that template again. Here's my 2 up, 2 by 2 on 4 by 6, and allows you to arrange those. I can also use any of my other templates, and it's just a matter of clicking back and forth in order to select how you want to print your photos from Lightroom.